Blue Moon. Now we play a lot of splashes into Red Prison. Coithus Red Prison for green, Red White for either Red White Lockouts, or even just splashing some white colors for maybe Wrath of Gods at times, Planeswalkers or other things. We've done Dark Pyro Prison as well with black for things like Thoughtseize. We splashed red for red. And now it's probably time to go ahead and splash a little bit of blue. Blue Moon here in Modern. Now, we have dug deep here, as in 3 seconds of research, and found a Blue Moon list that we thought, why not? Now, there is a reason that I've picked a Thing in the Ice list. We're going to go ahead and give this a shot, but this will be a Thing in the Ice list, and we'll just see how it runs. Because we have Thing in the Ice, we have lots of spells here. We've got Bolts, Ops, Remands. We got the Force of Negation, the Bane of Red Prison sometimes. We have a Brazen Borrower over here as well for some tempo plays, Cryptic Commands, and we've got Ral and Magnetic Sinkhole at the top end. The idea of this list is to tempo my opponent out just enough, flip a Thing in the Ice, and smash my opponent for a few attacks and finish the game out. Sideboard wise, we've got this dreaded Aether Gust targeting our green and red ones. We have Mystical Disputes for those counter wars we may run into. Angers and Abrades for the little creatures, but also a little splash of artifact hate there. Ashiok plus Relics for those graveyard strategies. Dragon Claws for the mono red prowess lists that we've been running into. And we've got another Ral that I have no idea when I would bring this in for, but we'll find a time to do so. Perhaps against control, when Sinkhole is perhaps not as good. This being said, this is Blue Moon. This will be our first outing with Blue Moon in quite some time. I believe I've actually played variations of Blue Moon with, say, Kiki and Deceiver Exarchs before, but nothing with Thing in the Ice. Well, maybe once or twice, but it's been a while. Let's go ahead and play with it, though. Blue Moon here in Modern. No full art Jace? I don't own him. No Jace there. Blaine Bells, what's up? Wait a minute. Weren't you in chat just a moment ago? You were. Welcome. Were you streaming and chatting? Were we in just chatting? Just chatting, watching the streamer, chatting to the streamer, and chatting to chat. Chat-tastic. You're streaming Commander? Sweet. What's your Commander? I always want to get Commander going. I need to find a local play group. When things are calm again. I'm gonna search and find that local play group. And then I'm gonna come in with my ultra $5,000 EDH deck that I don't own yet. I'll never own. I'll go rent it and smash them, and then I'll lose friends. That's not good. We'll bring our Snake Tribal list, budget $50, probably more now, and play. There, Grace, you got it to work. Nice. We need to put some emotes around it, and we got to at them so they can see we shouted them out. LJ, not much. We're going to try some Blue Moon here. I want to try some Blue Moon. Look, you got a little snowflake by your thing. You're getting frosty. This is so not our play style, too. This is going to be a real enjoy. All right, my opponent's double queuing. That's fine, they're in limited. We're gonna grind them out. We have a Thing in the Ice, we have a Lightning Bolt, we have an Opt, we have a Force of Negation. My opponent has revealed Obosh. All right, Obosh. Well, I kind of like what we have here against Obosh. Force of Negation, like a light up the stage or something like that. Bolting away their creature as well. I don't like that I have a Mystic Sanctuary. That's about all I don't like. You love Blue Moon? Well, hopefully I'll make you proud. I'm really nervous that I won't, though. We'll try. We will try. I feel like I'm supposed to lead with the Mystic Sanctuary here so that I can Lightning Bolt and Op next turn. Taking a point of damage here from a Bomat or a Swift Spear or something's just not that frightening. Make you proud every time we punt? Every time we punt. Fetch Shock? Nah, we can just fetch basic here. You're thinking about building Blue Moon, LJ? Oh, honestly, many ways to build it, I've heard. How many tickets to buy this list? I don't know. Do I still have it up? I do. It was 400 tickets. If you grab the same exact cards, it's 400 apparently. Attempting to fetch a Scalding Tarn. I happen to still have the list up. My opponent is double queued, and so hopefully that doesn't waste time here. Scalding Tarn, fetching. I have a lot of the cards. Paper? Yeah, wait for the pandemic to pass. Need to get my Red Prison. I need to pick up a few cards. I have all the cards I need for Red Prison just about. I think I'm missing... might be missing Bone Crusher Giants. I think I ended up finally getting Seasoned Pyromancers just before everything kind of happened. But I don't have the new fancy Blood Moons yet. I need those. I need those in my life. Although, I'll be honest, I don't know if they would replace my Blood Moons I play on paper. Alright, Scalding Tarn. Fancy Moons? I don't know, man. They don't have my Blood Moons on MTGO. Alright, hope is that my opponent just doesn't do this for the whole game. If so, we're gonna have to like... Maybe we just do Q&A now. Q&A. What Blood Moons does Fluffy pay in paper? Oh, Grayus, I will be ordering those. There is no doubt in my mind that I'm not even going to try to trade for those. I need some packed, fresh Chalice of the Void. All I really need then is Karn the Great Creator. If I could get Karn the Great Creator in an old brown border, then that would help me so much, because I actually will find new printings of things that are sideboard so that I can just fan my cards out and find all of my basically silver border cards, and I can pull them out because they belong on the sideboard. The Dark Moons, indeed. Those are my moons in paper. All right, we lag checked our opponent. That's what we do here. Double queuing against us is hurting us here. You have the Red Prison, but you have like all Chandra versions. You need the Karn, yeah. Every now and then Chandra will be very good. I don't think Chandra's very good. Like a bunch of Chandras. I don't think that one's very good right now because of Uro. You need a way to interact with their graveyard, and Karn getting like Tormod's Crypt is really important. What's the best I've done at a GP or Open? I guess just like a 4/4 drop or something, because I've gone to one modern GP. I've gone to exactly one modern GP, so I don't know if that counts. Does that count? If I go with the Magic Online, my best is a top 4. And I think there was 280 in that one. Oh my gosh, I don't have a basic mountain. There it is. But yeah, like I've gotten a top 4 and I've gotten a couple top 32s and a top 16, if I recall correctly, on Magic Online. And I just have only attended one paper GP that was modern. One paper GP and one standard GP. And the standard one was when I was getting back in and beginning to be more competitive than just, I guess, kitchen table, if you will. Our man's not very good here. We'll bottom this. Land's good here. All right. We'll go ahead and lead with a Thing in the Ice here and pass the turn. Looking pretty good, I would think. I've got this Force of Negation that I can use to protect Thing in the Ice. You are, Grace. So I guess let me correct that. I've been to one paper GP standard, one paper GP modern, and I went to something else. I don't remember which one I saw Gabby Sparts at, because I have a picture with Gabby Sparts. I think it was it's like a team event one or something. Can't do a Force of Negation because it's our turn. We learned. I was about to say, oh, Force. No, I learned. But yeah, I want to go to some new ones and stuff and start to open that up. But, you know, then 2020 hit. Grayus, you were at the one that we were supposed to start doing. Well, I mean, it was when it was, but, you know. All right. Looks like I'm going to get an extra Thing in the Ice possibly down. 1, 2, 3, 4. I suppose I'll play Fetch Land, do Thing in the Ice, pass the turn. Extra Thing in the Ice here with a Sinkhole. I could shoot the Bone Crusher Giant here. Make these 3. There's a Blood Moon. I really don't like that. I don't like that. How many things? Oh my gosh. I'm gonna die. I don't watch Magic Aids that much because I don't particularly like the content. I'm gonna keep, I suppose a Opt is okay to keep. No, we keep a Bolt here because I could Snapcaster Bolt. All right, we get rid of the Bone Crusher Giant here. My opponent's got a Blood Moon. Let's see where this leads us. We have plenty of islands. But yeah, I guess if you were to open up, you said opens and GPs, but if you opened it up to an IQ of 100 people, I did get first place in that too. So we have one of those SCG Invitational IQ things, and I got first in that. And that was modern. So I suppose that would be my best result. I suppose if we're getting technical. Ooh, Opt. All right. Let's go ahead and play our Scalding Tarn down and pass turn. Opt will be used for the Force of Negation if they have something that's really brutal here. Now the question is, what do you think the list was that I got the first with? That's the big question. I should be playing that list. Hint, it's not Red Prison. Ponza? Nope. Nope. Double Firebolts here. I'm going to go ahead and attempt to exile and counter this. It's 2 spells into this. They'll have to throw a third one if they have one. Lava Dart, sacrifice, and shoots this. Everything at the Thing in the Ice. Cryptic, pass turn. Ponza, no. Scape Shift, no. Death and Taxes, no. Grixis Delver, no. Money Pile, no. If it helps you, it was back in 2014? I think it was 2014. Tron, no. You're all off. Affinity, no. No, but I had to beat Affinity. Twin, no. Merfolk, no. Splinter Twin, no. No, I never played Twin. I never played Twin in Pod. I played Scape Shift instead. And everybody but the Twin players liked me. Because I always beat the Twin players. Jund, no. I'm not that rich. Seasoned Pyromancer here draws 2 new cards. We find ourselves an island that's getting us closer to a Cryptic Command. Eggs. No, but that would have been cool. I do like a good eggs list. Soul Sisters, no. No, but we could beat Soul Sisters, no problem. I love it. In fact, no. Shall I drop the colors? Living End, no. Love it. Black White Tokens is a no. Colors, please. Colors. The deck could play Siege Rhino, but did not play Siege Rhino. Abzan mid. I'm gonna go with no. It has a specific name, but yes. I mean, if we just go broadly, yes, it was an Abzan list. But the deck has a name. Mono Jank. Obosh to hand here. We find our extra island here right on time to get rid of this Obosh. All right. The question here is, what am I doing with this? I could bounce Blood Moon draw. I really don't need any more islands. I think it's just like counter draw here. And counter draw is fine. Treefolk Tribal, no. Wouldn't call it Abzan control necessarily. Reanimator's getting closer. Seance? Dang, that'd be great. All right, we find ourselves a Snapcaster Maze plus the island. Things are getting interesting here. We're at 9 life. Should I attempt to block this? Probably not. Firebolts me. We'll definitely go ahead and snap and counter this. Counter draw. Once again, I don't think I need any more blue mana. Opt off the top. A Thing in the Ice as well. Thing and opt. All right, we're getting somewhere slowly. Aristocrats, I will go ahead and give that to Kevbell. Oh, dang. Hold on. We gotta counter this. Force a negation off top. Not quite. Bottom. No, that's a bad card. I'll give it to Kevbell. It was Rally Fenza, which I would consider a Aristocrats combo deck in the colors of junk. This Blood Moon's not very good. First place. Combo Infinite Life. My opponent bolts me. We're moving to game 2. All right. Well, Blood Moon's not very good here. Aether Gust seems a good replacement for that. We have the Braids and Angers as well, and Dragon's Claw. These all seem like things I want. Oh, it is. We had Collected Company. I had Anafenza. You could use Kitchen Finks. You used Blood Artist and Zulaport Cutthroat. And then you used Safehold Elite, I believe it was, or Viscere Remedies, along with Rally the Ancestors. And Return to the Ranks. I think it had a Bird or Noble in it too. All right, so Claw's looking good. Abrade, Anger, and Aether Gust here. I think Row's too expensive here. I don't think I need a Magmatic Sinkhole. This would kill Obosh. That's one thing it would do. Raman's feeling fairly weak here as well. What else do we have in this list? Spell Snare seems really funny against my opponent. Maybe bring the Ral back in. How do I think that deck would do in today's meta? Poorly. Unfortunately. I think you just play Devoted Druid instead. Or Heliod combo. That's what that deck has basically turned into. So if you were in the Rally Fenza camp and you were just playing, and evolving the list over time, you would be into Devoted Druid, and now you would be in a Heliod. And so that's the curve of how your deck would have formed. If you split off and did Devoted Druid into Walking Ballista more and ended up funneling towards Hardened Scales, you may not be in Heliod, but you may be in Hardened Scales territory right now, depending on how your collection worked. I think Remand, Spell Snares, and Blood Moons come out here, and this is just all of this in. Spell Snares was taken out, and I get to keep a Ral in here. I don't think I need anything else specifically for this matchup. Let's go. This deck needs elves. That would be green, right? Let's play first. Blue spells with elves? That'd be a whole different deck. Then we'd be red-green elves. Well, that's just different. It's a whole different list. All right. Let's keep this Flooded Strand. We don't have Force Negation up necessarily here. Probably going to need to go get a basic island here, but with a couple bolts and a Dragon's Claw, I'm feeling pretty safe against our Prowess Obosh opponent. Let's see what they've got here for us. I'd like to lead with this Flooded Strand. Thank you, opponent. We're up a little bit on our opponent as well. All right, Flooded Strand, and go. Cool. Soulscar Mage here. We'll go get that island. We'll go ahead and put a Dragon's Claw down. And then we'll have a bunch of things to do here against my opponent. Not so concerned about the Soulscar Mage here. Not with a Dragon's Claw. It basically negates all the prowess triggers. Feels good. See if they can beat this. I'll probably just shock in the Steam Vents here and then have Force of Negation up plus Bolt, or a Braid. Also, we're getting to see two different bolts. Can bolt them with the Skeleton Zap thing or the Bear. Opponent attacks for one and is going to light up the stage. Going to have to just let that roll off here. Stage is lit. I'll say yes here. Couple lands here, or a couple spells. I want to just yield to the Dragon's Claw. Ooh. Ooh. I think this is worth potentially running into the Blood Moon. I don't think they would have kept a hand with a Blood Moon in it. We'll play second Dragon's Claw here, and then we have bolts. I'll probably just fire one of these bolts off as well right now. since it's just 2 Soulscar mages. Would love to fire off a bolt. Let's resolve this. Let's resolve this opponent. Thank you. And we can always yes, always yield. There we go. All right, double Dragon's Claw here, up to 20 all. Soulscar Mage, Lava Dart, Lightning Bolt from my opponent here. I also would assume they'd want to play some of these. Plays a Swift Spear. Obosh Skred went 3-2. Not bad. Lava Darts me, I'm up to 23 attacks, and we're down to 19. All right, I guess I should anger the gods now. We shall anger them. Gain 2, wipe the board. Looks good. I think we're okay here. Double Dragon's Claw should be enough against Prowess. We'll wait for my opponent to concede, right? That's what they should do. You like burn games like this? This is our version of playing Uro against our opponent. I would agree. I think it's very much over. All right, well, we'll play a Thing in the Ice and pass turn. My opponent either had no plays or decided to skip their entire turn. Bolt's Thing in the Ice, we gain 2. Bolt's Thing in the Ice, we gain 2. All right. Swift Spear for my opponent. Attacks. We're gonna go ahead and attempt a Lightning Bolt here, although they can save this with a Lava Dart. But they don't. We'll pass the turn almost at 30 life here. What's the origin of the name Fluffy Wolf 2? Ooh, that's a good one. I don't know if it really has an origin, it just became a thing. 2 Seasoned Pyromancers hit the bin. I suppose I'll kill one of these. I'll kill the Seasoned Pyromancer here. Up to 33 we go. Extra Cryptic Command. Go ahead, opponent. Bomat I can't take care of. My opponent can bolt me every turn now, just attacking with creatures. Bomat picks up a land here, or a card. Snapcaster. All right, well, we can kind of hold here for a little bit. I could Snapcaster Lightning Bolt something if I wanted to. I don't foresee myself really doing that. I don't know, I could block here. You know what? Let's go for the block. It's just gonna gain me some life here too. I like the block on the Bomat carrier here. If they want to, they can shoot this, and then look at that. I could force the stomp here. I don't think I need to. Let's not worry about forcing the stomp. If they want to save Bomat, they're not playing down their Bone Crusher Giant here. And we're just gaining a whole bunch of life. Cool. Looking pretty decent here. Follows this up with a Relic. That's fine. Can I get a land, please? Thank you. Land. All right, Lightning Bolt deals with Bone Crusher Giant here. Land for my opponent. Uses Relic. We'll get rid of Snapcaster. Plays Bone Crusher Giant. We gain 2. Attacks with 2. Okay, back down to 32. Go to end step here. Bolt Bone Crusher Giant. Take 2, gain 2. Back to 32. Top of the library is another Cryptic Command. It'd be great to have a 4th land here. Who needs that? Lands are overrated. Opponent attacks for 2. Relic is used. We'll get rid of Thing in the Ice. Land. Lands are impossible. Gets a Seasoned Pyromancer token back. Bomat. Alright, I'm just gonna shoot the Bomat here. We have the Blood Moon covered with the Force of Negation. My opponent seems to be picking up the speed here. Attacks for 4 now. May I have a land? What are lands? Turn 12. If I recall, we used... No, we didn't use an op this turn. Do you have a commander deck? I do not. Well, I suppose I do, but I've kind of sort of dismantled it. I would play Sigarda. I had a Gisela as well. I think the Angels interest me the most. I'm gonna die to Seasoned Pyromancer tokens here. That's an Obosh to hand here too. I have to be able to kill the Obosh here or counter. What are lands? What truly are lands? Well, they're playing pretty well, but I also haven't drawn a land in what, like 10 turns here? Opponent uses a relic activation here. We're gonna just take the damage here. This opt should find us something here. Opting, looking for a land. Oh, it's a Brazen Borrower. Bottom, land. No land. I do get an Abrade though that I can use to kill the Bone Crusher Giant. I'll go ahead and do that because it doesn't really cancel out. Opt, bottom, draw, and draw. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, we're how far into this? 22 cards down and I found 3. What's happening? Help. Help. Help! Main phase opt? Nah. We're just getting smashed by Seasoned Pyromancers. Blast Zone here. We'll opt now. Alright, we find our land here. Second anger one time. One time. Hey, look, there's some lands here. These are interesting. I wonder where they showed up from. Alright, now I get to tap down my opponent. Having to fetch for basic island here. They're gonna put the Blast Zone onto 2. This feels so bad. It took so long to find that land. We're gonna use a Blast Zone here. What if I tap the team and bounce one of these to save one of them? Am I just gonna die to bolts or something here? Tap all creatures. Return target permanent to its own hand and tap all creatures. Let's go ahead and save a Dragon's Claw here. We have a Force of Negation, and they're not playing Obosh down. Uses Relic. Get rid of Flooded Strand here. Stomps me. I'm going to go ahead and force this. There's an island. I can't quite Cryptic Command or put the Dragon Claw down just yet. We'll have to tap down their team again. We're going to go to 4 with the fetch. Basically, I need probably an Anger the Gods off the top. So we'll just tap and draw. Pick up a Scalding Tarn. We're going to play Obosh, and we're going to hope it's not something that kills me. I'm not going to fetch here. So we play down a Dragon's Claw here. We can kill Obosh, but that's all we're getting to do here. Looks like my opponent beats us through all the Dragon's Claws. It took us 13, 14 turns or whatever to find the 4th land. I need to get the Cryptic back with the Mystic Sanctuary. Probably. Yeah. Because this doesn't do it with just the Sinkhole. We need to be able to tap the team again. And tap the team and have the Dragon's Claw. We might have goofed that up. Alright. Well, we're learning. If we top deck that, pick up the Cryptic, we would have drawn into a Sulfur Falls and then a Steam Vents. So we would have tapped down and drawn these two, so I'd have a Magnetic to kill this. And they'd still kill me with those. And a Ral, which doesn't do it. The next 4 cards or so, I know fetching would have made it a little bit different, but the next 4 cards in this example doesn't make the Cryptic work. Bummer. A little 0-2 to start it out. A shame that it took so long for Prowess to beat us. I will blame that second game though on not drawing a land for 13 turns. All right, 1 lander's here we can't keep. Let's mulligan this. All right, we can maybe keep this. Get rid of a Mystic Sanctuary. All right. Gonna use some Remands here in the Force of Negation along with Spell Snare to get us to a place where we can be ahead of our opponent here. Triome for my opponent. All right. Find ourselves a Brazen Borrower off the top. Pass the turn. How many lands does this list have? I'm starting to wonder. Okay, we'll shock in here. Little Steam Vents. Thankfully, we hit our 3rd land. We currently now have the same amount of lands as we did on turn 13 from the last game. I have a budget version of Jehoram. All right, missing our land drops already. Not good for us. What are we gonna do here? 3 mana Shark Typhoon. Can't interact with this. 1/1 Shark. I'm gonna take 1 or 2 hits from the Shark before considering using a Brazen Borrower. Here we go. What's this? A Blood Sun. I think I can just go ahead and do a Remand here. Use a Remand just to draw instead of doing Force of Negation. Find ourselves a Ral. Okay, extra land doesn't look bad currently. Pass the turn, my opponent pitches a lightning bolt. Now we're ahead on the lands, thank goodness. It's a good place to be. Attacks for 1 with a shark. All right, what's next? Cleansing Wildfire to go after my land here. Well, we'll just Spell Snare that. It's probably one of the better things we can hit with the Spell Snare. I actually don't mind the idea of doing a Brazen Borrower at the end step here to get rid of the shark. Bam, look at that. All right, go ahead and pass the turn. We are blue mages after all, this league. Seeing what we can do at perhaps their end step. Three mana. Here's this Blood Sun again. I feel like I'm supposed to just let this resolve. Like, let it resolve and then maybe play a Brazen Borrower. Like, this just is a cantrip. It's not the scariest thing for us to see. Lotus Field. It was scary until that showed up. Well... No, they get a Lotus Field? Well, they got a Lotus Field. We can mess with the Lotus Field, though. Not terribly worried about it at the moment. So at end step, I'm going to do something kind of interesting here. We're going to return a permanent and draw a card, or at least try to bounce Lotus Field. They'll probably do something to counter this, which is fine. So they force. Now we have 2 forces here, and we don't have to worry about a force on their side. We'll go ahead and force Jace here. Hoping that this opens the door for Ral to be played. Resolves. Okay, so we have a Blood Sun here. We do not get the land, so Ral is not coming down here. We'll attack for 3. Would it have been better to do it on their upkeep? Maybe. Yeah, they couldn't on their turn. So they might have a second force. You have to remember Varro's address. We are not always a very blue mage player. So it's a fairy. Well. Let's go ahead and get rid of Spell Snare here, leaving myself with a Snapcaster plus a Remand. Wonder if I'm just supposed to Remand the Teferi here. Like, I know the Teferi shows back up again. But this way I don't give them their force back. I think this is correct if I'm going to try to draw a land for Ral. I do hit my land. All right, we hit the land. It's Ral time. Do they have another Force of Negation? They've already used 2. All right, we're good. Let's look at some cards. Kind of want to get this Blood Moon. Let's take Blood Moon. Blood Moon's kind of fun. We like Blood Moon. Every list we play plays Blood Moon. And that's all I ever want to see is Blood Moon. All right, I guess I shouldn't F6 so it makes it look like I have Blood Moon here. I'm going to probably re-see this Teferi. Now I can F6. They didn't counter this, so I don't think they have another counter. They decided to bounce Snapcaster. Now they could have a counter. 1, 2, 3, Blood Moon. We have something else. Ooh, ooh, ooh. All right, look first. Always look. Oh, all of this. Can I have all this? Can I have all of this? I guess we'll get Cryptic Command. Blood Moon and have Archmage Charm here. Snap Spell Snare as well. I guess we can't do any of this because of Teferi. We should have tapped differently. We're really good at Magic. Thanks, Teferi. Opponent opts as well. All right, we're just gonna pass turn. I'm gonna do this correct next turn. We're gonna try to learn from our mistakes here. This card really bothers me. Hey, I can hit the F6 button. Maybe I should not be so upset, right? My opponent makes 6 mana. Shark Typhoon. Could be worse. Maybe I can find a bolt. Found a bolt. Am I supposed to try to bolt the Teferi here? 1, 2, 3, 4. I can Cryptic, I could bolt. Let's go ahead and try to bolt Teferi here. The charm could steal the shark. All right, Cam, take care. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, all this Blue Mage stuff. My brain is exploding slowly. They know this Blood Moon's going to be showing up here too. So we have a Cryptic Command, counter to bounce this. We're going to say okay to this happening. One, two, three, attempt Blood Moon here. If they have force, they get us. If not, fine. And then we're going to go ahead and gain control of the shark. My shark. Got to do this all at sorcery speed. All right. I am now Blue Moon with sharks. Blue Moons with sharks, and my opponent has some mountains. We're going to go after this Teferi here. We're going to get to replay Ral. This hand is looking good. Teferi goes up. No counters. Looking good. Looking good. Ooh, thing of dice. All right. Shark first, attack Teferi. See if we can clear that. Bolts me to make a 3/3 shark. Okay. Or a 1/1, sorry, not a 3/3. What am I talking about? It does 3, 1/1 shark here. I'm going to Snapcaster Bolt next and see if this resolves, and if this doesn't, I might use Cryptic. Snapcaster Bolt. I can't do Thing in the Ice for all of this because I'm trying to interact with a Teferi. Okay, do you have a counter for this? They've got something. Their own Snapcaster. So what does this get you? What does this get you, opponent? Nothing. It's a Cleansing Wildfire. Fairy is bolted here. Cleansing Wildfire to help them out a little bit with their lands. Cleansing Wildfire with a shark here does its thing. 6. I think I'm going to go ahead and play Thing in the Ice down. Feels safe-ish. And we'll just pass the turn here with Shark, Snapcaster, and Thing in the Ice. I know they have their Shark. They only have blue and red, no white. Plays an extra Lotus Field. If they ever bounce the Blood Moon, we're going to be toast. Snapcaster here. Going to just bolt. It's the only thing they can do down here. So bolting to get a 1/1 and shoot Snappy. Maybe they're going to double bolt Thing in the Ice. That would mean they'd have to have their only fourth and only other bolt in hand. Appears that's not what's happening here. Attacks for 2 in the air. Alright, we have our own Lightning Bolt, and I have Ral. I think Ral is fine to play here. So, play Ral. I can even shoot something. I could shoot one of the flyers here. Okay, opponent just gives up. I think here we might shoot a flyer and then bolt a Snapcaster. And then the following turn we can start digging, which apparently we're going to run into a whole lot of nothing. But there you go. That worked. That worked. Okay, Mystical Disputes seem fine here. I actually like the Ral a lot in that matchup. Blood Moon's pretty good here. Sinkhole's probably alright. Spell Snare does do some stuff here. Maybe Brazen Borrower is kind of interesting. Still keep this, probably. I wonder what's really bad here. I suppose the Spell Snare was only hitting... was only hitting... Remand Cleansing Wildfire? If I switch a few Remands out for my own Mystical Disputes here, and then maybe Ral makes an appearance? Maybe I don't. I've got the Jaces. You know what? Let's just stick with Jaces. We'll do Thing in the Ice to bounce all the sharks that are going to create. We'll go with this. Alright, 4 lands. Thank goodness we've got them. Alright, we'll keep. We have the Brazen Borrower to bounce Blood Sun, if they try to do that before doing Lotus. Let's go ahead and put a Steam Vents in tapped. Go ahead, opponent. Alright, this is looking much, much better. Got the lands we need. 2 mana Cleansing Wildfire, okay. Just get an island here, it's fine. Opponent draws a card. Play our Sulphur Falls past the turn, leaving ourselves with a Brazen Borrower open this time. Sacred Foundry, tapped. I know. I've got so many lands now. It's kind of crazy, isn't it? It's kind of crazy. We have so much. All right, opponent plays the Blood Sun here. In response to the trigger, I will bounce this. They do draw a card here. That's fine with me. This is kind of a tempo play on their turn. Because now they don't want to play the Lotus Field. They just play a Hallowed Fountain. We have a Remand. I think I'm going to just hold Remand open. At some point, my opponent might just play a Lotus Field as well. All right, let's go ahead and remand. Mystic Sanctuary picked up for us. Steam Vents for my opponent. Shocks this in. Okay. Snapcaster. We now have Snapcaster Remand. My opponent will eventually resolve this Blood Sun and then make lots of mana. Here they go again. We'll attempt to Snapcaster Remand. If they counter the Snapcaster here, I get to play Brazen Borrower. Alright, we'll attempt the Remand here. Looks like we have a counter spell now. Remands are remand. Alright, looks like you win, opponent. Okay. Remand goes away because it was in flashback territory. Blood Sun into play here for my opponent and plays a Lotus Field. All right. Archmage Charm. I'm going to wait on Jace to leave myself an Archmage Charm open. I'm going to attack with Snapcaster. I'll probably flash in Brazen Borrower at end step. Alright, my opponent has 1,000,000 mana here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sharkles a Foon. Cycles a Shark Typhoon. It's only a 1/1, so I'm not going to go after it with my Archmage Charm. Opponent attacks for 1. Okay. Sounds good. And they attempt to play their own Jace. Let's attempt to counter this. This should meet their own counter here. Force a negation. Jace lands. We could attempt to bolt here. Going to go ahead and do that. I think the bolt is more important than trying to get a Brazen Borrow in to attack because we know my opponent has bolts. Opponent opts in response. Luckily, we get rid of the Jace, it appears. And Jace is gone. Now my opponent has plenty of cards here, so maybe we can get our own Jace resolving. Wonder if we resolve Jace if we're supposed to... If we're supposed to brainstorm or if we're supposed to look at the top of their library, knowing that they have bolts. What's our line to getting back in this game? We need a good brainstorm and then they just bolt this, or do we need them to double bolt? I think I'm going to make them double bolt, but we're going to look at ourselves here. Why'd I play Flooded Strand there? Is there a reason not to? It's that or Mystic Sanctuary, right? Flooded Strand so I can fetch if I decided to brainstorm. I just didn't. Oh, because of the Blood Sun. Thinking of fetching Blood Sun shuts this off. Clever. You can tell how many times I've played against Blood Sun. Many a time. Tail's End to prevent the trigger of the Lightning Bolt, even though I can't use this. My opponent hasn't played with Blood Sun either. Ha. Now I can't bolt. Well, I wasn't going to be able to bolt anyway, really. Because it's a fairy. So here, let's go ahead and bounce Shark, attack Teferi with both Snapcasters here, and then Brazen Borrower. Maybe I'm supposed to attack them. I don't know. We gotta cycle another Shark here. Nope, red mana. Bolt. Bolt, 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 bolt. Bolt's one. Do they have another bolt? Bolt's the second one. Okay. And Bolt's Jace. They had 3 bolts. Okay. All right. Teferi goes up to 6 here. We have a Jace at 1. It's probably time to start brainstorming if they give me the option here. So let's draw some cards. Here we go. Put some lands back. We don't need those. Use Brazen Borrower here. Mystical Dispute is hilarious. Trying to hit this for 3, maybe get the bolt afterwards. My opponent's going to Snapcaster. Can't respond to this. Snapcaster Bolt here. Bolting the Brazen Borrower. At least I'll get to bolt the Snapcaster in return. Okay, we bolt. Not worrying about this Teferi at the moment. Attempting to kill Snapcaster here. We'll opt because we can't do it on main fate or on their end step. Bottom the land, pick up the land. Should have had those probably sequenced a little bit different because of Blood Sun. Go ahead, opponent. Nothing I can do here against Teferi. Cycles a Triome. All right, opponent. What you got? Ups with Teferi here. I guess they've decided keeping Teferi is just what they want. My opponent finds their 3rd bolt here, getting rid of a Jace. We find another land here. We'll pass turn. Now we're just waiting for my opponent to kill me with Giant Sharks. Giant Sharks. Keeping in mind, I could steal these with Archmage Charm, bounce them with the Brazen Borrower, bounce them with Jace. Lots of things. Teferi down tick here to draw a card. My opponent does nothing. We'll attempt a Thing in the Ice and pass turn. We're picking up the pace of our play here because this is 1, match 2, and 2, because my opponent's down on the clock and we're up a game. Want to make the last game a rush. Teferi, Time Reveler effect, upticking here. Lotus Field using red, cycling a Blood Sun. I can also play a bit quicker because Teferi is preventing my counter magic from being useful. Play new Thing in the Ice and pass turn. Opponent's got 31 cards in their list as well. Oops. Caught the auto yield just in time. Forcing them to counter this again if they have it. They don't. Go ahead, opponent. Could bounce with Teferi here. They may not because they're afraid of a bolt killing their Teferi. They do bounce though to draw a card. What is our win condition, opponent? All right, Thing in the Ice, looking to bait out a counter or something here. Then we'll follow with Snapcaster attempting to bolt Teferi to open up our Mystical Dispute. I assume they have another Teferi. Spell Snare from my opponent. Spell Snare. Goodbye, Thing in the Ice. Snapcaster attempting to go to target bolts. They could have another Tail's End here. Ops in response. Trigger on the bolt. Wait for main phase. And they're going to Tail's End the Snapcaster Mage. A triggered ability, it looks like. Okay. Go ahead, opponent. Opponent's having to do a lot of work here to keep us at bay. I feel like we're pretty strong against the opponent. and will be so when we're on the play. Helix, good thing to know about that. Jeskai colors indeed. Opponent is going to attack us with a Snapcaster, goes up with Teferi. And before attacking with Snapcaster, use Lotus Field plus some mountains to make a Big Teferi. Upticks with Big Teferi. Attacks for 2 after playing Lotus Field. Down to 16. Teferi untaps, Lotus Field plus Steam Vents. We hit a bolt. We will attempt to bolt Teferi here to open up our Mystical Dispute, even though it's probably not countering anything anytime soon. Opponent has a Dispel. We'll pass the turn back to them. Once again, we're trying to burn some clock here so that the decisions have to be made in rapid succession here in game number 3. Up and up with both Teferis for my opponent and tax for 2. Teferi untap ability. Another Mystical Dispute will pass the turn. These counters will be a lot better next game. A lot better. Got to prevent that Teferi from showing up. Up, up they go and attack for 2, it looks like. Down to 12. I'm waiting for that big shark at some point. I'm surprised they haven't found another Sharknado. All right, Scalding Tarn. No good here. We'll have 6 back. All on you, opponent. Ups with the Teferi and ups with the other Teferi. They must be only playing 2 Sharknadoes or choosing just not to use them. Attacks for 2, down to 10. If I get Ral or something. Scalding Tarn. The record is just below me. Karn's back. We've played the prowess matchup, and that's it. Blue Moon apparently takes a long time to play. All right, Teferi disappears here. My opponent floats 2 Lotus Fields to play new Teferi, upticks and gets to exile cards. The exile probably Islands first or Steam Vents. Oh, Sulfur Falls. Though they won't need to touch any of our Flooded Strands or Scalding Tarns right now. They could use Little Teferi, bounce Blood Sun to draw a card, and then replay Blood Sun to draw a card if they want to go for the clean kill here. I'm up a game. The up arrow means I'm up a game. This works too. Replay Snapcaster and do an opt. This works as well. For the same amount. Oh, nope. Going for bolt. But yeah, I'm up a game. We're down overall with the matches. That's what the big number means. New Snapcaster. We have a bolt again, it looks like. And do we have a Helix to finish this off, or do we have another bolt? Down to 2. And a little spell snare here. All right, we'll let my opponent clean us out here. They could want to go crazy with their Teferis and Blood Suns here and try to get rid of all my lands. I'll give them the chance for that clean kill if they want it. All right, 7 minutes versus 15 minutes here on the final little bit here. Let's go to sideboard and see if we want to change anything. So Aether Gust is kind of interesting because we do know about Helix, Bolts, and Blood Suns. I don't know if this is worth bringing in just for those. I'd almost expect like an extra Remand to work better than those. I almost want a Remand in here for like an opt. Might even like consider the second for the opt, but I think 1 extra Remand's not bad on the play. We do need Lightning Bolts to take care of the Planeswalkers. I think we're good like this. Okay. Being on the play is nice, though. All right, a few Snapcasters here. Let's go ahead and mulligan this. All right. We'll keep this. We'll get rid of a land here. And we'll start with, I guess, a Mystic Sanctuary and pass turn. Hopefully they don't have a Spell Snare. Not a great 14 cards we saw. All right, Hallowed Fountain tapped. Looking good for us. Let's go ahead and Thing in the Ice, pass turn. Not looking terrible here. Like I said, this last game has to be a quick one for our opponent, and we can take a little bit of time if we need to think about a few things. Cleansing Wildfires, my Sulfur Falls. We'll say yes to this. I really only have single pips on red, so I'm going to go ahead and get an island here to make sure I have enough islands for the Mystic Sanctuary. It's a new Thing in the Ice. Flooded Strand, pass the turn. Alright, fingers crossed this isn't just Teferi. I have a Spell Snare, but I had no other counters. It appears my opponent has missed. Steam Vents, Ops, Triggers. Put on Top's fine. Let's do a Mystic Sanctuary. I'm not going to put the Opt on top, I don't think. Let's pass the turn here. We have Brazen Borrower to bounce something, Spell Snare to counter an Opt. We'll see if we can flip these Thing in the Ice. And apparently my opponent just gives up. So end step here, we snap, Opt, see some card, top or bottom, and then get another card. And then hopefully with the Thing in the Ices plus the Snapcaster Mage, we could potentially do Brazen Borrower plus Spell Snare our Brazen Borrower. And attack for, this would be 14, and we'd be bouncing Snapcaster. So we'd have them at 4 after this combat step. It was a back and forth last game, but I think the easy play here is Snapcaster Opt. These go down to 2. Brazen Borrower, like Snapcaster and Spell Snare it, and you bounce these, bounce this, and attack, and then you've got them in 2 turns. Nice. That worked out. Well, there you go. All right, we're 1-1 in matches so far here. Got 3 more to go. Hopefully they're not as long as the first 2 have been. Let's find our next opponent. Let's play some Magic. Round 3 coming up. On the play, 2 lands here. We'll give it a shot. Thing in the Ice and Snapcaster Mage plus some counter magic afterwards. Now we did look up how many lands we have. We have 23 in this build. We'll see how that goes. We're going to lead with a Scalding Tarn here and pass the turn. Peatland. All right, we're just going to Thoughtseize here. Well, that'll probably take the Thing in the Ice. Could take the Archmage Charm or the Jace as well, I think. It might have a Fatal Push for the Thing in the Ice. There goes the Archmage Charm. Play our land, and we'll definitely throw a Thing in the Ice down. They don't know if I drew a Force or not. I assume they'll play as though I did not, though, and try to Fatal Push this. Oath of Nissa. Okay. Interesting. Uh-oh. What list plays this? Huh. What plays the Boundless? It's a Changeling, and they have this weird, combo Changeling thing. Is it Yawgmoth? Slivers. Them slivers. Sliver, sliver, sliver. Temple Garden. There's something else that plays this as well. All right, we're gonna have Cryptic Command here and Jace. Looking pretty good. I don't think I'm gonna run the Jace out here. I'm gonna hold Cryptic Command for a while. I think we're doing just fine against our opponent. There's the call. What if I counter bounce? That's kind of fun. Counter bounce. Get bounced. No creature for you and you're down a land. Enjoy. Snapcaster Archmage Charm's next. Haha. Temple Garden. Shocks it in. This is their opportunity to do something. They don't do anything. We get a bolt. Pass the turn here with the Snapcaster Archmage Charm open. Which is what we'll do. I think I'm going to go ahead and fetch and shock here. Actually, we can put the Cryptic Command back on Chop, which seems really good. We gotta use this broken card. And then Snapcaster Archmage Charm here. And we'll counter. This is all on my turn, so we do have this where they're going to have an open turn here. But next turn I'll pick up this Cryptic Command and I'll be able to bolt and hold Cryptic Command open. So they've got a free turn here. I'm tapped out. Simian Spirit Guide makes some mana here, and we have a Sorin. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Puts Morphon, the Boundless. Plays Slivers. Okay. We're not dead, though. Attacks for 8. Am I missing something? So I bolt Sorin here. I just bolt them, right? I just kill this turn. We bolt them. And just like return a permanent to owner hand and draw a card, which could be like Sorin here for fun. And then Awaken Horror flips. And doesn't bounce this because it's also horror, but we attack for 7 and kill him. Got him. Hey, found the line. Cool. All right. Maybe Ashiok because they try to search for things at times. And get rid of like 2 Brazen Borrows? Nah, we want to bounce things. Let's get rid of Ral because that's probably too far up. Something else. Let's get rid of the Sinkhole here too. All right, 2 Ashioks in. Getting rid of Ral plus something else here. Definitely just want to interact with my opponent. This seems fine here. We'll lead with Mystic Sanctuary, potentially remand them. And if we find a Blood Moon, we find the Blood Moon. Let's keep. We'll hope for no crazy turn 3s here. Can avoid a crazy turn 3 will be good. Obviously they could Thoughtseize us, but let's just ignore that. They won't do that. They would never do that. Ha. See? Just Inquisition. Inquisition's us off of Overgrown Tomb. Here they'll probably take that Blood Moon. Put that in the bin. Put that in the bin, opponent. Looks like my opponent also mulliganed to 6 here because they played land, this, and they have 4 cards. Gets rid of Ashiok. Interesting. All right, Mystic Sanctuary, pass the turn. We're gonna not reveal Scalding Tarn until we absolutely have to. Opponent top decks a card here. Finds a Windswept Heath. This could get them a basic if they would like it. If there is a point in which they should be doing their spells, even though they're instant speed, it should be right now. And we use a call. Excellent. All right. They get the Boundless. We're going to play our land as though we have not found red mana yet, and we have now Remand. Ah. And it looks like my opponent does not have their 3rd land. We will now go ahead and attempt the Blood Moon. Risky? Yes. Because we only have one island. Very risky. I'm okay with it though. Nice. Resolves. Now I just need some bolts. Snap, bolt, snap. Verdant Catacombs for our opponent. We do have the Force of Negation backing us up right now. It's nice to be able to play Blood Moon and protect the Blood Moon. Oh. Simian Spirit Guide. Go ahead. I guess we can jump in front of this with a Snapcaster. I think I'm going to wait until end step here and just throw one in to attack back at them, leaving myself with the Remand as we play. Force of Negation is strictly here for the Archmage Charm at this point. And I think I can Remand a future Simian Spirit Guide, but I can also just let this one hit me and follow it up with a Snapcaster. Let's go ahead and Remand the Sliver here. New Remand. So we'll Remand it again in the future. About that Blood Moon. You respect the Slivers deck? Hey, it's cool. It's a cool deck. Remand again here. Extra Cryptic Command. Looks like my opponent may attack me with the Simian Spirit Guide again. Dancing life totals back and forth here. Ah, yes. There we go. There we go. Bolt, snap, bolt. We have 10 damage if they attack with both of these. If they keep one back, we lose. Well, probably won't lose. Opponent attacks with both. We ready? Bolt. Snap. Target bolt. This is what every blue mage wants to do, right? Every blue mage wants to bolt, snap, bolt. Got there. That was good. Oh, another one coming. Woo! Through the Blood Moon. 2-1 overall. This smile is only temporary. Don't worry. We're not turning into a blue mage yet. I mean, we're not turning into a blue mage. Ever. This week. Let's find our next opponent. What is this? 2014? Blue Moon is a 2010 deck. This shirt is brighter than your future. Don't be down on yourself. Your future is very bright. You got the Salmon Graham. Your future is just reflecting off of the shirt. It's your own presence. And you're watching the stream and it's just your eyes and all of that, boom, reflecting. Brazen and Real and Sinkhole. Ral. They're all Mew. There's no Mewtwo in here. Record is below me. Karn has returned. MTG bot's working. Although I need to ask some people how they get the more square version of this record. Mine is very trapezoidal. All right, let's play first. Whitman's our opponent. One lander. Let's mulligan that. We know where those go. This looks good. Keep. Get rid of the Mystic Sanctuary here. Keep the 2-lander. Spell Snare 'em. Thing in the Ice 'em. We're 2-1. My opponent's 2-2. Our opponent is a fan. They're a fan. We'll play this island. Guess what, Whitman? You're on YouTube. Huge fan. They love the content. Whitman 1. Whitman 1. Real fan would be Whitman 2. Ceiling fan. Oh my gosh, I get owned here by not playing Steam Vents first. It's okay. Just a hasty goblin. Give me that land. Opt. How garbage. How garbage. Shock in here. We're putting Thing in the Ice. No fear whatsoever. Goblin Guide's not going to kill us. Remind him he needs to like and subscribe. If you're watching, like and subscribe. Eidolon for our opponent. That would have been a great Spell Snare. Who needs Spell Snare in 2021? Tappy land, go. We are planning to bolt the Eidolon, by the way. We'll get to it in a second. Bonus Eidolon. Watch this. Bolt this Eidolon, and we Spell Snare this one. Our fan is not going to be a fan much longer. We had everything. This is what it feels like to have everything. Absolutely everything. Thing in the Ice for number 2 here. Go ahead and opt for the funsies here on main phase. Find that land, bottom it, and get a different land. Mystic Sanctuary, pick up the opt, spin the wheel, Thing in the Ice. Getting it done. Icy Boy stopping all those attacks. We had the Spell Snare for the Eidolon. That's what happened there. By the way, getting bolt is silly because if you try to bolt this, then it flies. It flies into the air. We should probably just get the bolt anyway and just bolt them. 2 mana. Are we gonna have to kill a Thing in the Ice here? Ooh, Wayward Guide. Okay, Swifty. Okay, okay. Lava Spike. Nice. System's down. System is down. The system is down. Opponent attacks with everything here. Force a negation on top. Blocky, blocky. I definitely don't want a force a negation here. Let's go ahead and pick up the bolt with the Mystic Sanctuary here. I'm gonna bounce all of this fun stuff. The hope here is that, yes, I'm gonna bounce things. And I'll have a blocker here, and then I have the Brazen Borrower as well. And the idea here is that I should be able to kill here in 2. If they do not have enough damage to kill me, example, 3 bolts or something, then we can just flash this in and be fine. We'll see, though. We will see. Probably can't do it through creatures here. We're both at 8. Goblin Guide. Definitely gonna block Goblin Guide. Now they could chump block, or they can plan to. We'll see if that's a thing they try to do. Wayward Guide. Nice. Combat. Goblin Guide finds a sinkhole on top. Gonna block here. We're going to Petty Theft the other one, so we take 0 damage here. Putting Magnetic Sinkhole down to 1. Sorry, Thing in the Ice down to 1 for Magnetic Sinkhole next turn to be able to blast this and swing with the team. Unless they kill. Killing this is probably one of their few outs here. Exiles a Rift Bolt. We good? We good? Boom. Flip. Swing. Nice. All right, Thing in the Ice worked this time. It's good to see it working. Dragon's Claw. Aether Gust. Abrades and Angers all seem fine. Remands come out again. And then Burn, Blood Moon's usually pretty good, but in this matchup, I think I'll take it out. Ral here as well. And I need one more thing to take out. It might be just a Brazen Borrower, although tempoing my opponent for a turn might not be a bad idea. Let's take out Jace. Cryptic. Spell Snare is going to get a lot more in Burn than it will in other lists. It's not the prowess one. I'm thinking Jace. I think I just win with the Thing in the Ices in this game. We'll get rid of a Jace. All of this is really good against my opponent. Yeah, Spell Snare is good. It actually probably won us this past game. I like Cryptic a little bit more than Jace. More because I don't think I ever know what to do with Jace. Too much haste for Jace. Too much haste. They are speed. They are speed and we are turtle. Maybe I should put something like welcome to YouTube. Nah, we don't need to put that pressure on our fan. If we put our pressure on the fan, the blades might spin off. Nitro? No. Their speed, we are turtle. I'll keep this hand. I'll keep. Pretty good. Pretty good. I think a Dragon's Claw would be better. No damage lands here. Removal. Things to block. Anger's a smash. Aether Gust to tempo. I like it. Turtle, not turbo. Yeah, turtle. Turtle. Moving along like a turtle here. Island for us, and my opponent goes ahead and bolts us. 17-20. Let's keep track of those life totals, because they're gonna matter. Wayward. Prepping Anger the Gods. Attacks for 2. Picks up a land. I feel like I'm just supposed to slam in a Thing in the Ice here. Even if I use it as a blocker, I'm kind of okay with that. So Thing in the Ice down, pass the turn. Land played. Opponent attacks. Maybe I don't even block. Nope. No block. No block. I'm not getting bolted here. Thing in the Ice will win today. I know I have another one. All right. Things looking pretty good here. I think we just pass now and we just have everything for my opponent. Shard Volleys. I feel as though I should Aether Gust this. This feels appropriately worth an Aether Gust. Especially since if they attack with Wayward, then I can bolt it after it attacks and it picks up their land. They'll probably attack before though. That felt pretty good. That was good. No. Deny you the 2 damage. Denied. All right, we have a land here. We have a Snapcaster and some other stuff here. Let's go ahead and actually just sit here and just plan to Archmage Charm and then future opt, or Snapcaster Bolt at end step. Looking pretty spicy. 1 mana Rift Bolt suspended here. Let's go ahead and Snapcaster and Lightning Bolt. This feels pretty safe to go ahead and do here. We can opt and bounce this. I'm hoping to draw a land here for like Archmage Charm and then just smack them for 7 with a Snapcaster pick back up to hand. That's a painful land, but it works. Let's go ahead and opt in response here. Pick up our Snapcaster. I'll take a non-painful land. Bottom Steam Vents. Oh. Oh. Dragon's Claw. I'm gonna bait myself with this Dragon's Claw. Ta-da! They're like, whoa, hold on. There's a Shard Volley. Gonna put our land into play tapped. All right, we'll see if this was the right move. Opponent has max 2 lands here. Rift Bolt coming off. Rift Bolt does 2. 2 more cards here. 6 damage total that can be played here. I can Anger to gain 1. Down to 7. Land. I'm a proper blue mage now. All right, they do a little bit of damage here because of the Searing Blaze. We're attacking for 7 here. Go ahead, opponent. We have the Archmage Charm. Should be good here. Anger, snap, anger. 2 mana Eidolon. Cool. Anger the Gods here. Clear the Eidolon. I do 3 here, but they only have 1 mana open. Feeling pretty safe here. Plus Archmage Charm to defend and 7 in. I think this is good game. I think it is. Whitman, our fan of our league here, getting taken down in match number 4 against the Thing in the Ice. Dragon's Claws and a few too many, removal and counter magic. You will be in a video soon, Whitman. They look forward to our next one. Our next video is tomorrow. What is it? I don't remember. 3-1. Let's find this final league match. Starting 0-2, sad it was, then landing a 2-1, 2-0, and 2-0. Maybe there is something to this blue magic. YouTube, there you go. Link in the description of YouTube. Go check out my channel on YouTube. Or come check out Twitch, and you all check out YouTube. 3-1, 3-1. Beef Man is our opponent. All right, a Lurrus of the Dream Den. I'm gonna go ahead and keep. Watery Grave here. Crab. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. Do we fetch? Do we shock? Archive trap me, opponent. Do it. Oh, I'll put a spell snare on top. That looks good. Okay. All right, we have to deal with crab here at some point. Both crabs, in fact. Ooh, fetch land and double crab. Well, this is going to help our snapcasters, but that is about all it's going to help. Brazen Borrow Ops and Lightning Bolts hit the bin here. It does help our Magnetic Sinkhole. Fun times, that is. Fetching immediately for our opponent. This is going to be hard, because I don't know how to play this matchup. Crab and crab here. More things hitting the bin that I desperately would like to have in my hand instead. All right. Can I play a Thing in the Ice here? I feel like I've got to kill one of these crabs and leave up a spell snare. Mill them back with Ashiok. All right, let's go ahead and take... Let's get rid of the Brazen Borrow so they don't steal that. Let's get rid of the Force of Negation. Jace. Opt. And lands. Came across the YouTube channel a few days. Good stuff. Thank you, Sigma. We have some random stuff out there, that's for sure. Oh gosh, another crab. Oh gosh, another polluted delta. I'm at 34, 31 cards. Minus another 6. 25? Basic swamp? This is not looking good. Oh, maddening. Got him. Thank goodness. All right, my opponent's got 16 life here. I think I'm just gonna have to play a Brazen Borrower and hope it's enough, really. Ah, Field of the Ruin. Please stop. Down to 18 cards. This isn't gonna be enough, is it? Hey, Shadowbolt. Thank you so much for the Prime Sum and welcome. You get these sweet emotes so you can use all over Twitch. No, leave me alone. Field of Ruin. So with Mystic Sanctuary, I can put something on top. Question being what's worth putting on top here. I mean, they're gonna mill it away, right? That's the whole point. I guess I'll take a Lightning Bolt if it stays there. Play our Thing in the Ice down and attack for 3. Fingers crossed that the bolt stays on top. Chances of staying on top, 0. Oh no. Crab. We're gonna concede. No more information for you, opponent. All right, we have to beat them. Somehow, some way. Not sure how though. So Mystical Disputes, Anger, Abrade, maybe Ashok, so they don't do the whole fetching thing. I don't know if this is a put in 75. We could maybe go up some. Like the Relics could be played here too. And maybe Ral. Because Ral can shoot them. Like I could do this. I could see this, but we have 23 lands. We'd have to be super careful. Take my Bezos bucks. Nice. Welcome to the desktop. Oh, I don't like what we're doing here. Let's do it. Let's do it. We do need to see 2 to 3 lands in hand, though, to make this worth it. We'll play first. 71 card special here. That's not going to do it. We'll mulligan. We need lands. There we go. There's 3. All right. Keep. And we'll get rid of an Opt here. We're going to get rid of an Opt here because I can use the Magnetic Sinkhole as a way to possibly kill a crab pretty quickly because I'll mill some stuff here. Wonder if I'm supposed to Scalding Tarn sooner rather than later here. All right, crab it is. Let's go for it. I'm gonna fetch Shock here. All right, they did not hit us with any crazy mills yet. All right, extra crab. It's a fetch land. Mill and mill. In response to the next fetch here, I can sinkhole them. A few things hit the bin that are important. Blood Moon, Angers, some other nuanced things. Let's go ahead and play an island and pass turn. I'm waiting for them to fetch with the Polluted Delta. They don't. Dang. Handsome, thank you for the resub. Welcome back. $71 card special. Let's get some howls in the chat for our newest folks here. All right, land go. I'm one away from being able to Snapcaster plus Anger, which kind of is interesting to me. Opponent's deciding never to fetch. Watery Grave. Mills a few more things. There's a Lightning Bolt. All right, let's go after this a little bit here. So let's kill one crab. Let's get rid of pretty much our lands is what I'm going to get rid of. We can get rid of the Blood Moon too. So Sinkhole, opponent will respond by fetching. We'll respond by snapping and attempting to bolt the other one at least. It's the least I can do, opponent. Fetches in response to this now too. Lots of milling here. By the way, these two crabs and all these fetch lands. I probably could be winning better if I would have gotten more aggressive with my Sinkhole. I tried to get cute with them with a fetch land, and I think it's punishing us. I want to have visions here because we have exactly 20 cards. Now if they get a surgical here, they just get to take this and we only kill one crab. Okay, no surgical. We get to kill the other crab. So they only mill us for an additional 3 here. I guess overall we're 3-1, so that's a winning record, regardless of the results of this final match. Which I think would take a lot more practice. Mill is an interesting matchup because you don't sometimes know exactly what to keep when you're brand new to a bit of a deck. And if you end up doing that, where you don't keep maybe the right stuff, or you play kind of like we did, we got aggressive, maybe we should have just fired it off immediately. And stuff like that, that you can probably shore up a little bit better and be just better off as you move forward. All right, well, I guess I'll put a fetch land down and attack for 2. Like here, I don't expect myself to need to fetch. Remand or Cryptic Command looks fine here, and we'll start attacking for 2 a turn. Does this, like, get us the win here? I don't think so. Oh, another crab. Get out of here, crab. Counter draw. I know my opponent can counter this. They've got the counter, right? I'm just so fed up with these crabs. This is an aggressive Cryptic Command. This is out of anger and rage to the crab. Blue Moon players all around the world are going, he just has no clue, does he? You're right, I don't. Educate me. What would you do in this mill matchup? Not what I'm doing. Oh, double crab me still. Ugh. I have 71 cards and they just crabbed me to death. Not to mention they have a Field of Ruin, and I'm top decking sweet lands. I don't want to fetch here, I'm so scared. Scred was alright. I don't know, am I supposed to fetch with the Mystic Sanctuary and then pick up what, just a bolt or something? I don't know. Oh, land. I'm just getting milled. It didn't matter. It didn't matter, everyone. They're gonna field me next. They're gonna maddening me. I'm gonna try to counter this. Wait for anger. Anger's over here. I can try this. I don't even know if I have the Mystic Sanctuary. Let's go look. Here comes the Archive Trap. Trap me. Trap and field me. Do it. Finish me. Dang. Look at all these beautiful cards. Brazen, huh? Mill for 6 more. Down to 12. Black mana. Could have bounced one of them in response and been only milling for 3. Something we could have done. But we almost need this Brazen Borrower, and I need them to almost like just miss. Miss for a turn or 2, right? No whammy here. They slow rolled me. They slow rolled me. 3-2 overall with a little bit of Blue Moon here as well in Modern, our second league of the night. That was a whammy. Like I said, if you're playing against Mill, you need to know exactly what you need. In that case, maybe we're just not caring about some of our counter magic. We just need the bolts and snapcasters. Maybe that's all you need. And you try to punch in, you need that fast thing in the ice. It would take a few iterations of that just to see what it is that we specifically need. So I'm not too upset. Little 3-2 here with the Blue Moon, and something that I got to check out. Research, if you will. We'll call it that. Sweet List, though, did do a 5-0. It's been a little bit, but hey, Blue Moon's cool because you can do all kinds of flavors. This is a Thing in the Ice version of this flavor, and this was your Blue Moon matchups.